Hello, everyone. We are here with Latasha, and I am going to be teaching her the basics to web app development with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, this will be an evolving process, and I'm going to let her introduce herself in a moment. But this is going to be a tutorial, probably going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 episodes. And I know you guys have been asking me to do this for a long time, and I feel like it's a perfect opportunity. So, Latasha, would you mind taking a moment to introduce yourself, where you're from, how old you are, and what are your aspirations for coding in the future?
Alrighty then. My name is Latasha. Right now I'm 26, and currently from Chicago, Illinois. Right now my aspiration for learning coding is to truly just transition into a different career. Um, I originally majored in the arts, and I found that the job market is definitely getting scarce. Right now I'm in hospitality, and I find that it's definitely not fulfilling at this moment. So hopefully by doing a career shift and getting up my skills, I can make a successful transition out of hospitality.
Okay. And what made you get into what made you interested in computer science, and specifically programming versus hardware or networking, stuff of that nature?
Well, I dabbled a little bit into learning about the A plus exam. However, like that, the information in that didn't really stick with me. In terms of like what was going on in terms of programming, I was interested in that initially, just based off of hearing other people's thoughts and understanding about the opportunities that computer science and programming provide, for especially for the millennials today. So I think that by learning this help me to build my skill set as well as be more marketable into changing careers at this moment.
Okay. Awesome. 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 So what we're going to be doing is, starting off with this first series, we're going to be doing basic about me page. So we're going to make a single page website where basically it'll just be an about Latasha, and we'll start off building out just the static web page, and that will be today. Next week we will style it up with CSS, and then on the third and fourth week we will add interactivity and dynamic elements with JavaScript. And the reason why we're doing it this way is incremental baby steps. I feel like a lot of these code boot camps and whatnot, they kind of throw too much at newbies at once, and I think that is an overall reason why a lot of people end up quitting who would make excellent software engineers. So it may be a little boring for the first few weeks, but after week 4, you should have a pretty solid grasp, and we can start doing some more heavier, interesting apps. So go ahead for me and switch over to Atom. So Atom is a text editor. Some people say it's an IDE. Some people say it's not an IDE. For those of you, an IDE is an integrated development environment. It's basically a program that has all your programming tools in it. The cool thing I like about Atom is it has these things called packages. So you can download all sorts of cool stuff to help you with your code, whether it's syntax highlighters or console commands. Literally, the amount of packages on there are unlimited. So the first thing what we're going to do, hit the file menu, and we're going to create a new project folder.
All right, right here.
No, upper left file.
Oh,
that's fine. Yeah, so we're going to do new. Actually, before we do that, why don't you open up your file explorer?
Right here.
Yeah. Yep. All right, and go ahead and go to your desktop, and right click, make a new folder on your desktop somewhere. and then call this I don't know, name it whatever you want. We're gonna put all of our projects in here eventually. So cool. All right, now open that one up and make another new folder, and we're gonna call this About Me. Cool. All right, now go back to Adam and do a file open project or add project folder. There you go. And on the desktop, and just hit projects and hit OK and select folder. All right. So now we have here on the left hand side, you see our file directory structure. So right click on About Me and go to New File and call this index.html.
The index now?
Yeah, index dot and lowercase. Everything lowercase. No. Dot htm. The letters html.
Okay.
Cool. Hit enter. Okay, cool. It's right there. Go ahead and get rid of those other tabs you have open.
This one, okay.
And that Untitled tab.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so the reason why we named it index.html. So first of all, let's talk about the extension, HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And that is the language that browsers use to show websites. Okay, so and then the reason why we call it index is because whenever you go to a website, you put a web app or website up on a server. The browser looks by default. It looks for the file called index.html. So if I name it like this, which I'll show you towards the end of this session, you'll be able to just open up in the browser your index.html and it'll run like it was running out on the web. Because the browser doesn't care whether the HTML files are local or if they're remote. It's just all runs on the HTTP protocol, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So you use hypertext in the markup and use hypertext to transfer that markup. So when you create a new HTML file, you have HTML is made up with these things called tags. You have opening tags and closing tags. There's a few tags that don't require a closing tag, but the vast majority require an open tag and a close tag. And the reason why this is because in HTML in a website, you have what's called the document object model, or the DOM. Okay, so when you make a website and you put these tags in, it makes a tree. It makes a tree of elements and nodes. Okay, so the top node, the trunk of the tree, is the HTML tag. So this is the first thing we're going to add. So to make a tag, you do the less than sign, the name of the tag, and then the greater than sign. So in our case, it's going to be less than HTML, and that's a close. When you put the / that's a closing tag. So put the greater than sign, and then space down a couple of spaces, and then put the closing tag, which is what you were doing before. So just no. You had it right. Hit put the greater than sign. That's your opening tag. Now hit the return a couple times. All right, now do less than HTML / right then. You misspelled that first L. Okay. All right. So all websites have to start with this opening HTML tag, and they must end with the closing HTML tag. That's let the browser know this is a website, because browsers can open multiple types of files, not just HTML files. That's just the default that whatever for everything that you go to. So by doing this open and closing tag, you're creating an HTML document. Now, the next thing that we typically want to add is a title, okay? And all this can go into what's called the head tag, okay? So imagine like a body. You have a human body. You have the head, and then you got the body, right? So in the head tag, which is less than the word head, there you go. And yep, close it out. Yep. You mind fixing that indentation? Sorry, that the on the line 6. Thank you. Sorry, that's a little pet peeve of mine. So okay, so in the head is where you're going to put all of the information about the website. So your metadata, your title, your links, if you're linking external JavaScripts or style sheets, which we'll get into next week and the week after that. But here's what I want you to add. The only thing I want you to add right now is a title tag. Okay, in between, inside of the head section, you're going to add title. In the title, if you look at your Google Hangouts or on your just open up any browser. So right there, you see it says Hangouts video call up at the top right there. So that's what, when you specify a title tag, that's what it's setting. Okay. So we're gonna call this about Latasha. So we can go back to Adam. So we're gonna do title, open tag, and you're gonna make a title tag. And also, feel free to use the autocomplete feature that's built in. So if you just hit enter. And then /.
Yep.
And you can typically people put the title tag on one line because you're not putting a whole bunch of stuff in there, but it's up to you. I typically just put it on one line. There you go. All right, now about Latasha or about me or whatever you want to call it. All right. Cool. Now that's the only thing we're going to add right now. It's just the title. All right. So now underneath the head, because now we're remember I said this is a tree, right? So in HTML is the top parent node, okay? And everything underneath HTML is a child node, okay? They're either child or they're all children, but the children could be siblings of each other, okay?
That makes sense.
So head is a child of HTML, title is a child of head, okay? And if you were to put another element inside of the head block, then whatever element you put would be a sibling to title because they share the same parent, which is head. Okay, cool. So we're going down to the next element, and we're going to create the body tag. So the body tag is where all of the meat and bones of the website go under. There you go. All right.
That's all. All right. Oh, wait, my apologies. Okay.
All right, and go ahead and save it real quick. Go ahead and save
Okay,
it.
save it.
Hit Control S.
Okay.
All right, and head over to your browser.
Okay.
And hit Control O. And go to your desktop. But actually, before you even do that, head back to Adam, because I just realized that I told you wrong. No, keep that. Go ahead and keep that up, but head back to Adam. I told you to put the / in the wrong place. My bad. It's supposed to be less than /. So go ahead and here. Wait. Before you do that, hit Control.
Oh
yeah.
Less than /
Yeah. So before that B, go ahead and put that /.
Okay.
Hit Control F, and this brings up the find function. Go ahead and in that find put / greater sign.
Okay.
And then in the replace that with just greater than sign. All right, and then find all, or hit find first, and then replace all. All right, now go and put the / in front of yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and don't forget the head too.
Okay.
All right, cool. Now save it. And head back over to the browser. Sorry, I had a complete brain fart there. All right, yeah. Hit double click About Me, and then open up that index. And you see it shows the type as a HTML. So you look up at the top and it says About Latasha.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But now we have nothing in the body, so let's change that. So let's do you have any images of yourself you want to put on there?
Right now, I could probably find something that makes me.
Yeah, we'll add an image, so that'll be the first thing, and then we'll do a paragraph.
I guess I can use this one. It's pretty old.
All right, just click and drag that over into Adam, and put it underneath your About Me folder.
Like in the About Me folder.
Yeah. I mean, you can click and drag it over into Adam and and make sure you just click and drag it over top of the About Me folder, and it'll drop it in.
So right here.
No, to the left. Yeah, exit that out.
Oh, you mean over here? Okay,
yeah. Or yeah.
It's not going. Okay, there we go.
All right, now drop down that folder. Make sure it's in there on Adam.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so here's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to add an image. And in order to add it in, all this is going to be inside the body tag. All right.
Okay.
So inside the body tag, you're going to type the image tag, which is img. IMG.
Okay.
And inside, you actually don't. This is actually one of the tags you don't need a closing tag for.
Okay.
So, So inside, hit escape, I think. Okay.
Sorry about that.
So inside of your image tag, so right after the G and before the greater than sign, the closing bracket. Yep. Hit space. Hit space. Tags can have what are called attributes. Okay. And one of the attributes that an image tag can have is called the SRC, which is short for source tag. And the source tag takes a path that is the path to that image. Okay. So if you see on that drop down right there, underneath long description, you see SRC in that drop down. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and click that. And so you do attribute equals and then double parentheses and then whatever you have, whatever the content is that goes. It could be single parentheses too, but typically it's double. But and then you put the stuff in there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna give the relative path to your image. So when I say relative means relative to the file that you're editing. So you're editing index.html, and if you look over to the left in your folder, dress.png and index.html are on the same level. Okay. So meaning okay. Dress.png is not inside of a another folder like images per se.
All right.
But typically, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Right click on About Me, add a new folder, and call it Images. I make it lowercase. That is good standard practice is you name stuff lowercase, folders and stuff.
Okay.
So go ahead and hit enter. And click and drag that dress.png into the images folder. Cool. Now go back to that source attribute, and inside of the parentheses, you're going to type in images/dress.png.
PNG. Okay.
You had it as uppercase PNG, so you need to.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and hit save, and go back to the website. Hit refresh, or Control R, and there's your image.
Oh wow.
Now, we haven't done any styling, so without styling, all websites look basically just like a Word document. So the next thing we're going to add is we're going to add a paragraph underneath your image, and you can put whatever you want in there. You know, a little about me tab. So on the next line, you're going to do the P tag.
Okay.
And yep, and that's short for paragraph.
You said it automatically fills in for stuff or no? Or should automatically fill in?
Well, when you make the opening tag and you do the autocomplete, it automatically does the closing tag with it. But if you manually do the opening tag, then no. When you do the closing tag, it doesn't work like it's supposed to. So go ahead and space between those two tags, and just put in a sentence or two. You know, I'm Latasha, 26 from Chicago, or something like that.
off is on the website too?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now go ahead and save that and then head back over to your website. Cool. All right. So now we're still going to be inside of the paragraph tag. All right. So just let's do another space. And now we're going to make a list, an unordered list. So you can have ordered list and unordered list. Obviously, clearly you use ordered list when priority is a concern, like 1, 2, 3. And then an unordered list is bullet points. Okay. So we're going to make an unordered list and which is the UL tag. Okay. And a list has hit enter. Just hit enter.
Okay.
Well, wait. Delete the L. Type L again. And then, yeah, now close it.
It's not working.
You just did it with the body one. Okay. All right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So this one does require a close tag. Now, all lists, whether it's an ordered list or an unordered list, they have to have list items. Okay. So the list item tag is LI, and that always goes in. A list item is always a child element of a list. So they have to be inside the UL or an OL if it's an ordered list. Click, or next time it auto completes, try clicking on it instead of hitting enter.
Okay, right here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's weird.
Weird.
Yeah. So go ahead and open, and that can be on one line. The list items. That's typically, and you got that backwards. You got IL instead of LI.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna make bullet points. We're gonna put links to your social media. So go ahead and grab your Facebook link.
Hold on 1 second. With all my other social media links so that like people can like get in touch with me and whatnot.
Yeah. So we're gonna make them clickable links, and then when they click on it, it'll take them to your social media.
Okay. And shouldn't it just be at the top here?
Yeah, when you click on your profile and it takes you to your profile page, just copy that URL.
Okay.
All right. Did you mean to stop screen sharing?
Yeah, I have to log into my account.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Alright. So I got it.
All right. So inside of that li element, actually, I take that back. Go ahead and put that last li, put it on separate lines. All right. Do one more space. All right. Now inside of there, we're going to create a link. And in order to create a link, we use the anchor tab, anchor tag rather, which is just the letter A. So go ahead and make your A tags. All right. Now the anchor tag, most of the stuff is attribute related. Okay, so you have an attribute on your opening A tag that's called href. Okay, so no, it's an attribute. So like how you did with image.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
HRF.
Right, my bad. HREF. Yeah, you have it right. So it's an attribute. So look at your image tag and look at the coloring, and look at.
Okay.
You need to move that. You need to move that HERF inside of your tag.
Oh, okay. So is it not? Is it supposed to be in the A or it's supposed to be its own tag?
It's supposed to be in the A, but so.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And inside of there, you paste it. All right. And we're gonna add another tag, or not another tag, another attribute. So outside of that parenthesis.
Okay, so right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're gonna hit space, and then you're going to do you see that target attribute on that drop down? Mm-hmm. So hit that, and target equals blank. Yep. So what does that mean? So you've been on websites where you click on a link and it replaces the current window, whatever that link is.
Okay.
Or you click it and a pop-up shows up, or you click it and a new tab comes up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
By default, it just replaces the current URL with whatever the href is. But if you do target equals underscore blank, it opens up in a new tab. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so go ahead and close out your put the closing bracket at the end of that.
At the end of this, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now do a space. Yeah. And in between the opening and the closing tag is where you put the content, right? So right here, you just put the word Facebook.
I think I did something wrong here. Okay, there we go.
All right. So basically, what you did is you made a tag with the href attribute equal to your Facebook link. You tell the target to open up in a new window, in a new tab, and then the content of that anchor, what it says on the screen will say Facebook. So hit save.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense because sometimes when you going back to the original, the web page shows just blank.
Mm-hmm. So head over to the website and then refresh the screen. Do you have a Twitter account too?
I do.
Okay. You want to go ahead and you want to.
Oh, yep, I see it.
Yeah. So for every li that you add, it's going to add a new bullet point with a new list. you know. So,
Okay.
did you click it?
Oh, do you have okay?
Oh yeah, I see. It's purple.
Okay.
Yep. And the A tag is arguably the most important tag because the whole web is made up of websites linking to other websites. Okay. So, depending on who you're talking to, they say the A tag is the most important because if you're not linking to any other pages, then, what are you doing?
What's the point?
Right. Yeah. So, like when Google crawls the websites, it looks for the A tags, and then it'll crawl one website, and then after it's done crawling that website, it goes and recursively goes through all the tags, all the anchors to go to the next page, and then do the same thing over again. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Explain a little bit more.
So you have a website that's got a bunch of anchor tags in it, right?
Okay.
That's let's say like a scientific journal, scientific website, blog article, or whatever, and they have their links to their research and everything in that blog article. Okay. When Google indexes and crawls that blog article, it's going to see all of those different anchors or links that it has in that blog article. So let's say it has 5 links, okay, in that one article. So Google will crawl and get all the information it needs from that one website, and then it's like, hey, this website links to these other web pages. I'm gonna go crawl those as well. And then so it goes to the first link that's on that blog article, and let's say it links to like the university website or something like that, right? So you click on. So when Google crawls, it goes to that first link, which takes you to the university website, and of course the university website is going to have links on there, and then it's going to crawl it, and then go to those links, go to those websites, crawl it, find the links, go to those links, crawl it. That's how that's called recursion. It does it over and over and over, and that's how it ends up going from one website to crawling 10, 12 websites based off that one initial website.
Crawling, you mean like it's automatically searching?
Yeah. So when you do a search in Google, it brings you back results from websites that it crawled, and basically a crawler is a program that reads your HTML and then sorts it out.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So you know what? I'll leave this for homework for you actually. So you know how to make one link. You can add your Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. But but you get the premise of how lists work?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Because this is one of the things I left off with my last, so some of the stuff it didn't seem too foreign, which is why I just let it go a little bit more.
Okay. Cool. Do you have a YouTube page or anything like that? Any YouTube videos or something like that?
Not on YouTube. I mean, I have a YouTube page, but nothing. It's more so a consumer page, not a content page.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if you had one, I would show you how to do it in bed. Let's see. So we got the paragraph. We got some tags. We got some images. We could do some audio or video, but I think we'll save that till when we get to the JavaScript because it's much more interesting when you're coding it instead of doing it statically.
Okay.
Let me see. What else before
Would you ever use any random YouTube video for that?
Yeah, we can. It just wouldn't be consistent with the theme of it being about you.
Yeah, that's true.
And later when we get to JavaScript, we're gonna build out a multimedia app anyway. So I think we can save that for them. Okay, let's do headings. Okay, so you know how you pick up a newspaper or a magazine and you have the headings for the story, right? The title will be in a big bold, and then the actual story is in regular font, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those were called headings, and HTML has 6 headings, H1 through H6. And the smaller the number, the bigger the font. So H1 is the biggest, H2 is the second biggest, all the way to H6 being the smallest. So in your before you have the hello, my name is Latasha, go ahead and put a space between that P tag and that hello. All right. Now we're gonna make a heading. So you're gonna so we're gonna
get rid of this.
Escape.
Okay.
So we're gonna make a heading that says we're gonna do an H2. H2 is typically for like titles and like sections of titles, right? So like think of like a blog article and it's like.
Does this require a closing tag?
Yes, it does. So so do H2.
All right.
And then the content of this tag is going to be welcome to my page. Okay, go ahead and save it and head over to your site.
I see it.
Cool. And this will also be homework for you when you go after we're done. Before we meet again next week, play around with it. Play around with different headings, so you can see how the different sizes and stuff work.
Okay.
And let's see. We'll get to forms when we get to backend code, because you have to have backend to interact with the form. And then everything else really is only really makes sense when you're using JavaScript with it, which we're not there yet. Let's see. Tables. Let's make a table. All right. So a lot of time you need to have data that's in some sort of tabular format or what have you. So the best way to do that is with the table tag. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Hey, I'm on a live stream. I'm about to call you back. All right. Sorry about that. It was one of my clients. So what I was saying, so a lot of time you have data and you need to put it in some sort of tabular format. You know, think about in science class when you have to do your reports or whatever. So this is done with the table tag. So underneath underneath where you say hello, my name is Latasha, but before you start the list, we're going to add a table.
So what is the tag for that?
The tag for that is table.
Oh, right.
Go ahead and make the opening and closing.
Okay.
So tables have rows, and they have columns, right? So
yeah.
In order to do a row, you use the TR tag. In order to do a column, you do the TD tag. And then you can also, or actually, I'm saying column, but it actually TD stands for table data. So it's where you input the stuff. And then you also have TH, which is the table header. Okay, we're gonna keep it. So your first, think about a table, right? You have your first row, like in Excel. Then that's where you put the names of the columns or whatever. So we're gonna make an initial TR, and that has to have an opening and closing tag, and that stands for table row. Okay, cool. Now underneath TR, we're gonna add our table headers. Okay, so we can just we'll keep it simple. Just keep one header. Call it skills. We'll just make a one row table. Okay. Cool. You gotta do th. Skills is the content for the th tag. So.
Okay. So I gotta make a th tag under the tr.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I thought that was weird.
It's all good. All right, and typically you can put that as one line too.
Okay.
Yeah, it just makes it easier to read.
I get it.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we have our first row with our table header. Now underneath that table row, we're going to add another table row.
Okay.
No. Keep that.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. Underneath that closing TR, we're gonna make another TR.
TH. Okay.
No, not TH. TR.
Another TR.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And because we're saying we want to make a second row. And in this, row, we're gonna put our table data or our TD tags. Okay.
Okay, so the TD tag, I'm treating it the same way as I am the TH tag.
Correct.
Keeping everything on one line. Okay.
Correct. So, you have it in the wrong.
Oh yeah, I see it.
It needs to be underneath the TR tag. So the table data is a child of table row.
Oh, okay. My apologies. That is different. Sorry about that.
It's all good. So we're gonna make 3 separate TD. Put it on the same line.
Okay. So we're making 3 of these. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, just go ahead and just copy that, and then just paste it 2 more below that one.
Just press escape.
Yeah. Just click. Should be able to. There you go.
Okay.
All right, and then yeah, just hey, you can hit Control V. By the way.
That's what I thought I did. You know what? I had to hit Control V. That's what messed me up. All right, go ahead.
All right, so they were just in the first one put HTML, and the second one put CSS, and the third one put JavaScript. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you wrong. Those. I mean, you did the TD part right, but you should have copied that whole block and did it 3 times. It should have been 3 TRs, 3 rows with one table data tag in them.
Okay, so I need to copy the whole TR block itself. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, instead of doing all that, just copy. Yeah, or you can do that. It doesn't matter. I would just say just copy the whole thing and paste it, and then do the deletion. That's just my preference. Cool. Yeah. You got 1 too many.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Now save it and open up your.
I see what you're saying. I got you.
Yep. All right. So far we have we have a functional, albeit not very aesthetically pleasing website. But this is the groundwork. So CSS and JavaScript, they're awesome, they're cool, but without HTML, they're kind of useless. Well, I think JavaScript not so much, but you know they're typically locked with HTML. So let's see, we got tables, we got lists, we got some images, we got some headings, we got paragraphs. Okay, I think we are. Yeah, let's do an iframe. We'll do one more tag called an iframe, and then we will leave that. Okay. We will leave everything, and then we'll be done for today. So put this underneath. Put it underneath the list.
This list right here?
Yeah, the UL.
Okay.
So underneath the UL.
Okay.
Okay. So an iframe is how you embed another web page into your web page. Okay? Mm-hmm. So trying to think of a good page to do. Actually, yeah, why don't we just put an iframe for your Instagram account? You got an Instagram, right?
I do get Instagram.
Okay. So why don't we in order to do iframe, it's just simply the tag is called iframe.
Okay.
And keep it all on one line.
Okay, so both of them, and I'm just copying it in the link.
Yep. Now, iframe doesn't have any content between the tags because the content is coming from the URL. You need to put an I.
Okay.
So the only thing with iframe is you use attributes. You don't put any content between the tags because the content is the website that you're going to be importing. So on the opening tag, we're going to add a source attribute, like how we did with image.
Okay. So am I putting the SIC again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then we're going to do https://instagram.com/ whatever your username is.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
And then also too, after you do that, why don't you make a heading above the iframe? Make it an H3 heading and say, check out my Instagram or follow me on Instagram.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I see what you're saying for like features of social media.
Mm-hmm.
So with this situation, right, what is it you like, I can learn and can do, like I can do this for another website, right?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
No, I'm saying with this, like embedding the website, like how can this essentially help?
So, a lot of time, like, if you are writing like a blog, for example, and you wanted to link some visual data and just embed that into your blog article, instead of providing a anchor tag that would make the user have to go to another page, you can just embed that page in that content, that embed that whole web page into your blog article, so they don't have to leave your site.
Okay.
And typically, you've gone to websites and they have they got their Instagram feed at the bottom and stuff like that. That's typically an iframe. Typically, I mean, it could also be they could also be using the programming interface to programmatically pull the photos, but I've seen a lot of iframes.
Okay.
So.
All right, so I got it there.
All right, and then save. Oh, wait. Add your header above the iframe. And we'll make it an H3 header.
You put that below the. You put that above the.
Above the iframe, below the UL. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was really hoping that would have worked this time. I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your editor. And then just call it follow me on Instagram or something. Yeah. All right, now save and go back to the website.
Okay. I see it. So once you put JavaScript into it, it'll actually show the actual page.
Well, no, I don't know why it's not showing actually. Right click on there and hit inspect. All right. That highlighted body tag. Double click that. Oh, you're on Windows. Hit the three horizontal dots and edit as HTML. Okay. All right. Iframe source equals. We're gonna come. We'll go with the code. I wonder if that's something on Instagram. So, let me try something real quick. Go back to the yeah. And put in google.com as a source. I just want to see if that was on Instagram's part.
Change it?
Yeah, just change it to
all right.
And then also, let's make the width. Let's make the width 100% of the screen. So we're gonna add a new attribute next to source.
Okay.
And,
right over here.
And it's gonna be called width. And then, so with height and width, you can set either percentages or absolute values. Okay. So we're going to use percentages, and we're going to set the width to 100%. You got to put.
Correct or no?
No, you have to do equal sign, and then.
That's what I did about it.
And then the quotation marks.
Oh, with the 100. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. No. The quotation marks is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you a shortcut. So yeah, type in that 100%. Now highlight that 100%. and then now hit the quotation mark button. There you go. All right, now hit save and go back to the website. Oh,
refresh it.
Yeah, and hit that X in the lower right hand corner.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's still doing that.
Can you see if you can scroll down on that iframe? Within that iframe. So like click inside of that iframe.
Inside the box.
Yeah. Yeah, hit reload frame, yeah. That's weird. Huh. I wonder if that's some sort of local host restriction or something. Yeah, you definitely. You definitely put the syntax right because it's actually making an iframe, but it's just not loading the URL. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something real quick. Go. I don't think this should make a difference, but go back to Atom. Delete that space between the open and close.
Where?
On the iframe between your opening tag and closing tag.
Right here.
Yeah. I don't think that should make a difference, but go ahead and save and try that. Yeah, that's what I thought. The site's in. Oh, okay. Okay, the site that you are trying to use is sending an HTTP response header that says same origin, which means basically it means that it's telling the browser that that resource cannot be displayed in any sort of frame unless those frames are on the same domain. So that's the security part on their end. There's nothing you can do about that.
Okay.
Why don't you try w3schools.com? See if that works. I want to find some example. Yeah, W3 schools.com.
Will it go up? Let's say will the website display once it's actually a website?
Yes. Yeah, it will.
Okay.
So
if that makes sense, the question I'm asking.
Yeah. You didn't save it.
Okay, yes, I'm about to do.
Yeah, I just want to get this last example through, and then we'll be done for today. Are you serious? All right.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Why don't you? I don't think my website has those restrictions. Try putting in JeromeParker.com. I wonder if it's because we're serving it statically instead of through a web route, instead through a web server. Although I don't think that. Actually, yeah, I think that is the reason because we're running it. If you look at your URL up at the top, you see it's using the file protocol. Yeah. Okay, we need to set you up a web server. We'll have that set up by next week. Actually, I'll give you access to my cloud server so you can actually put this up on the internet. All right, well, since we can't do iframes right now, I think that's everything. I think that's everything we're going to do for today, because our hour is actually, our hours.
I appreciate you for your generous time. I thank you so very much.
Hey, no problem. Do you have any questions?
I'm thinking like once I like do the homework that you suggest for me, like, and I try to like manipulate it a bit, then that's when I'll probably have some questions. So right now I'm good to go, and I'll probably email you with any concerns. Would that be okay?
That's perfect. So let's reiterate what we'll have you do. The unordered list. You want to add all your social media to that. If you want to, mess around with the table. So actually, that W3 Schools URL that I gave you, that's an excellent resource to learn HTML. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to sit here and tell you every attribute and stuff like that. So what I would say is go on W3 Schools, go and look at the documentation for each of the tags that you have in your site, right, that you have on your website right now, and play around with it.
Okay.
But play around with the different widths and heights for your image. Try to make your table a borderless table. So and for that matter, try to make your iframe borderless too. Try to figure out how to.
If I write all this down so I won't forget.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I would like for you to have your paragraph, your about me paragraph finished. If you want to choose a different photo, go ahead and do that. But basically, I want all of the written content for the website to be done by next Friday, so we can style it. We're not going to write any new tags. We're gonna just style the tags we have. So go ahead and get all that content done, and next Friday we'll pretty it up.
Next Thursday.
Oh yeah, next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday we'll get it together.
Okay, so just to review, you want me to go to this website right here? You want me to look up the documentation for each tag? You want me to finish the written content, and you want me to play around with the tag?
Yeah, play around with the different attributes.
Okay.
Because there's dozens of attributes. So yeah, just go through and look at them all, figure out what they do. Okay. And then the image, yeah, if you want to put a different image up.
Okay. And you want me to do a borderless table?
That was just an example. Yeah, why don't we try that? Make your table borderless. Make your iframe borderless. And then before next Thursday, I'll set you up a web domain so you can actually push your code up, so we won't have those iframe problems.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just taking out my homework, stuff for myself, so I have documentation.
Good practice to do. Definitely. All right, so if that is everything, then like I said, if you need to hit me up throughout the week, feel free to do so, and otherwise I'll see you next Thursday at 8.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.